you like to achieve your first millions? And today we have Anmol joining us from New York, and he is a trader. So Anmol, tell us, what are the 5 steps to make your first million?
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
I think the first step is you got to find, okay, what is my vehicle, right? What am I choosing to make the million on? Whether for me, in my business, it's from trades and investments that we make in the stock market. For you, if you have your own business, you got to figure out, okay, what's the exact offering that I have, right? So step one, find the vehicle that you're going to use to make your money. Step number two, you need to do, obviously, okay, how many customers am I going to need to serve? Right? How many customers do I need to serve to hit that million? So that'll take a look at, okay, what am I offering? What is my packages? What am I pricing? And then you take that pricing and you say, okay, how many customers do I need to purchase that pricing to be able to hit that million? And then I think the third step is to break it down into smaller goals. I think a lot of people look at this big goal, how am I going to get to a million, and they get overwhelmed. But first we got to break it down. Okay, if I want to hit $1 million in a year, okay, I need roughly, $90,000 in a month. So if I need that, what do I need per week? What do I need per day? Because once you can break that down, then you're able to say, okay, how many people do I need to contact today? How many people do I need to speak to today? So if you're hitting your daily goals, that'll keep you track on hitting your weekly goals and your monthly goals and the yearly goals. The biggest mistake people make is they have this yearly goal, but they never monitor it. So at the end of the year, they get there and they're like, oh, I didn't hit 1 million. Well, if you were monitoring it every day, then the worst thing that you could have is a bad day, and you can make up for it the next day, right? Or if you have a bad week, that's the worst thing you can have is a bad week, right? But you can correct it and fix it next week. Or even if you do it monthly, that's fine too, right? Or like big public companies, they do it quarterly. Every 3 months, they have the quarterly earnings reports. So you need to track yourself accordingly. So if one quarter doesn't go well, you can pivot, you can change a few things to be able to get there. But without the proper tracking and accountability, most people are, end up falling short. So I think those are some of the pieces that you need to have in place.
Yeah. So then what would be the next step, Anmol?
So once we figure out, okay, this is what we're offering, this is our vehicle, right? Whether it's a product or a service that you're offering in your business. Now, the step number two is, okay, what's the pricing of this? Right. So now you divide that. Okay, if it's $1 million that I want to hit, and if my service costs $10,000, okay, then I need 100 customers, right? If I get 100 customers, I'm going to get there. So what I do in my business is we look at it every week in our team meeting. We take a look. All right, how many new people did we have? Right. So that way, if 1 week was low, or we noticed that, this week we didn't get enough phone calls, we didn't get enough bookings, then we know, okay, we need to fix that so that the next week we can make up for the difference. So if let's say our goal is, okay, 5, new people in a month. Now, if you're looking at 5 clients in a month, and now let's say this month we got 5, then the next month we got only 3 clients, then next month's goal, we put it as 7 clients. So we're trying to make up for that. So then that way, if we keep hitting our targets every week, every month, then eventually the $1 million goal is going to come. Because a lot of people look at the big end result, like the outcome, right? That's not what you should look at. You should look at the process, because the results and the outcome is a direct proportion relation to your process. So if you do the right things and the right actions, you're going to get the right results. So that will be the step number 2, is to break it down into what do I need to hit every single week. Now, step number 3 is whether you have a team, is to set accountability. Who's responsible for those numbers? Because one of the things in businesses that happens is, you get to a team meeting and team's like, oh, we didn't hit the target. And now you're like, oh, okay, we'll do it next time. No, you're going to repeat the same mistake next time. Who's responsible for that? Where was the call, where was the ball dropped? Was it that we didn't get enough call bookings? Or was it that we got the call bookings, but the team did not convert them? Right? That's the figuring out the solution to the problem. Or step number 3, maybe it's like, hey, we didn't have enough social media, enough marketing, so not many leads came in. So you got to pinpoint what is the problem. That's step number 3. Pinpoint the problem, right? Where's the problem coming from? Is it less call booking? Is it less leads? Is it less content? Is it less traffic to the website? Is it less conversion from the sales team's point of view? So that is, you diagnose that and you put accountability. So in our company, we use monday.com, just to track our progress. And in that, every person is responsible for their own tasks. So the person who handles email marketing, his job is to get more people in the email list. So I know if we don't get enough people in the email list, he's responsible for that, right? Same thing with my sales team. If I know that, okay, we didn't get enough call bookings, then somebody to do with the funnel is responsible for that because, they didn't convert. They didn't result in a call booking. Or if they got on the call, but they didn't convert, then I know, okay, it's the phone salesperson. We got to have a chat with him. So you got to have accountability divided so that we're not just looking at abstract numbers and it's very pinpointed and detail specific.
Yeah. And what would be the final step?
So final step, obviously, is as you keep track of all these things, celebrate the wins too, right? So for me, when people come into our company or clients come into the company, what's the end result that we're giving them? We're giving them financial security, right? We're giving them financial freedom so that they can trade from anywhere in the world, invest from anywhere in the world, and make that living. So now when we have a conversation with my team, it's not about how many sales did we make or how much money did we make. It's all about, okay, how many lives did we change, right? So giving that purpose to your team. You know what? Because we got this testimonial. And this person said, he's been with us for about a year and X, amount of money he's made, how much change he's made is in his life. So we talk about that because then the team feels good about, okay, hey, we need to help more people. We need to help change more lives. So it's not about making a sale. It's about how many lives we're going to change. And if you keep following those processes, eventually, a year later, you're going to look back and you're already going to be at that goal. And you might even exceed it. So I think that is the type of, responsibility that's needed in running any business.
But the thing is to trade, to make some money, completely different ball game is to build the business and showing people how to do it. This is completely different ball game. So, how you decided that you want to become an entrepreneur and you want to own your own business? I think you don't have to because if you go to Wall Street, I'm sure that they will pay you very good money for your knowledge for what you do. So why you decide to have the huge risk to have your own company and where you were aware that you have a very comfortable corporate life, making a lot of money in Wall Street. So and you in New York, right? So why did you left all this corporate amazing safe life to go to a roller coaster to become an entrepreneur, which is completely if you run your own business, you cannot say this is not my job, your job. So
Mm.
why do you decide to become an entrepreneur?
Yeah, great question. And again, I live right by Wall Street. Wall Street is like right
Oh
behind the
my
street.
God, right to the corner. You can even work
Yeah,
there, man.
yeah. I
You
live right
have
there.
pay
School is right behind.
holidays. You go 9 to 5, not even 9 to 5 because these guys don't
Yeah,
don't work much. Yeah, the few trades and go home. Uh,
exactly. Yeah, and I
so.
still do that. I still do that. Like I consult for a lot of hedge funds managers, so they pay me
Mhm.
a consulting fee. So I'm involved in that world. But the reason I chose not to actively involved because this was about 5 or 6 years ago. I was about to start my hedge fund, right? I filed all the paperwork with the SEC. I'm about to open my fund.
Wow.
Yeah, but the biggest thing was I realized like, okay, I can right now I'm doing this from home, right? I'm making a good living with my own trading and investing. I don't need to do anything else. And by the coaching, it's an extra bonus, right? Hey, we're coaching, we have another business, and so I'm making extra money doing that. So then I thought about it, should I really open my hedge fund? And then now I'm in the corporate world. Now I got to do with SEC, compliance, legal work, accounting, taxes. So I'm basically buying myself a job, right? Fill out investor reports. I was like, I don't want to do that. And a lot of the hedge fund world is actually not about trading and investing. It's about raising more money, right? It's not about trading and investing. Most hedge
Uh,
fund managers are horrible at investing. Their only goal is to go to networking events, raise more money, raise more capital, and keep doing that. And for me, like I'm a very introvert type of person. I don't like to ask people for money or like, go out into these networking events. So that's something that was one of the biggest reasons I never went into the corporate world. And also, I've been trading since I was like 18 years old, right? From
wow.
my dorm, I've never had a job. This is all I've done entire life.
Wow.
So for me, this was like it's a passion project. And the way I think about my current business with the coaching and training is that I'm going to be trading anyway. Even if I was not running my business, I'm going to be trading anyway. So why don't I just show people exactly what I'm doing, which I'm going to be doing anyway? And if I can get paid more for that, then perfect. I think that's kind of one of the couple
But
reasons that
where,
I
where the passion come from? Who you never have a job. Um, who told you that good idea to be investing in a stock? Are you aware of the huge risk that does involve,
yeah, that's what my parents told
and
me.
how much money can disappear in like know what you're doing?
Exactly.
So how you find about a friend told you, somebody in your family? What made you think that this is that that it was a way to make money
Yeah,
at
my
a
parents
very early age.
told me completely opposite. My parents actually told me, "Oh, you're gonna lose all your money. You're gonna gamble. It's like gambling or
That's
whatever."
what
And
everybody will tell you.
yeah,
Everybody that, sorry to interrupt you.
yeah,
Everybody that you say, look, I'm gonna start to learn about stocks. I'm gonna invest. This is what everybody's telling you.
mm,
This is a casino. This is a gambling. Yeah, you're gonna lose all your money. And then always someone has a friend who lost a lot of money in the stock, and then they bring this example to you, right? And say, here, you see, look, this is my friend,
mm,
80,000, 100,000, all the saving for the lifetime gone.
yeah,
So don't do it. So
yeah. I
this
mean,
is what everybody will tell you. Family, friends, everybody around you will tell you that. So how you become that challenge? What makes you believe can actually make this work?
yeah. So I mean, I personally don't listen to anybody who hasn't actually done it themselves, right? Because one of the things, especially with like advice online, is that everybody has advice to give, right? You go online, everybody's going to tell you what to do. Oh, don't start a business. 70% of the businesses go bankrupt in the first 5 years, right? Oh, or don't play any sport. Only 11 people make it to the team. So if you listen to people, you're not going to do anything.
You
Yeah, you can never do anything. I only look at people who've actually done it. So for me, my mentor, the guy who taught me how to trade, he was making good money doing that. So I was like, well, he's doing it really well. I've sat next to him, I've watched him do it every day, and he's been doing it for 5 years. And then I met a lot of people in that same world, right, that were also doing really well. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to focus on the positive. I'm going to focus on
Somebody's
people who
making it.
achieved it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm only going to focus on them. I don't want to focus on people who didn't make it or did it the wrong
Mm-hmm.
way. Because
Mm-hmm.
you're right, most people end up gambling in the stock market. They have no idea, they have no strategy, they have no plan. They just like randomly read something online. Oh, I'm going to buy this stock. I'm going to buy this crypto meme coin. And sure, they end up losing their money because they end up gambling. Good traders, what
Mm-hmm.
we do is we are like the casino, right? Like if you go to a casino today and you win $1 million, casino's not going to mind. It's going to give you the money because they know, in fact, they're going to give you free drinks. Keep playing, keep playing, keep playing. Because the longer you play, and the end of it, they have a point something percent edge and they're going to win in the long run. So same thing with trading. It's not about me making money on that next trade or this one trade. It's about, okay, if I take 100 of them, I'm going to win maybe on 50, 60 of them. I'm going to lose 40, 50
Mm-hmm.
of them.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as I ensure my winners are bigger than my losers. So if my winner, let's say each winner is example $2,000, right? And each loser example is $1,000. So if I just maintain that ratio, I only need to make money 34% of the time. So I
Mm-hmm.
could take 100 trades, lose on 60 of them, $1,000 each. I lost 60,000. On 40 of them, I make $2,000 each. I make 80,000. So now net, I'm going to come out ahead at the end of the month.
Mm-hmm.
So I think using statistical approach is what most people don't do. Most people end up gambling. And a good
Yeah.
trader knows a plan. He has a system. He has a back tested the system, and he has numbers to prove it over the years.
Exactly. I think that the most important thing is that everybody, all our listening here, right? Number one, take it to the positive. But step number one that everybody should know for you to become a good trader is a skill base. So what that means, skill base? The more you practice, the better you become. Yeah. So it's like driving a car. When you start to drive a car at the beginning, you don't know how to drive. You need a good help. You know what is it? A coach, a mentor, like Anmol, your driver instructor. Because if you want to gain any skill, let's say driving or let's say swimming, right? If I give you a book, you're not gonna learn how to swim. If I give you a book, you're not gonna learn how to drive because it's
Yeah.
skill based. Now, good things about the skill base is that everybody can do it. Everybody can drive. Everybody can swim. Every single human being can become a very good trader because become a very good trader have nothing to do how smart you are of your IQ or wherever you're coming from. It's is this is no to be smart or super smart to become a good trader. You need to have the skill. So the skill is there is no way that you can get better. The more you practice, the better you become. That's the end of it, right?
Yeah.
Same like driving. Some people they shouldn't do it, but some people even drive speaking on the phone. You will see this
Mm.
is crazy, but they have practiced so much that actually they already have an amazing skill. And when you have the skills, then you minimize your risk. The other thing that I always say to people Amor, is that when you're gaining the skill, try to do some of those platforms has like dummy accounts that you can practice, right? Until you consistently, and listen to me, consistently make profits out of this. Don't put real money because it's a reflex when these dummy accounts, start you start to see money consistently there in this dummy account. It's a sign they send it to you that you already have the skill, that you already learn how to drive, that you already learn how to swim. So tell us, Amol, what are the biggest mistakes that you find in people out there that that they make when to trade, and then when you make a mistake and then you lose all your money, that's it. You if you don't have the skill, because acquiring a skill takes time and takes practice. That's the other thing. I don't know, but a lot of people in the internet. Oh, I can show you how to become a millionaire in one day or in weekend in my
Yeah.
workshop. Not true,
Yeah.
because how the people gonna get the skill? These people only want your money. It
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. That's my opinion. So Amo, tell us a
Yeah.
little bit what the biggest mistake and why people lose money in large amount in the stock market without knowing what they're doing, and what are the biggest mistakes, and
Yeah, I
people
mean,
make those mistakes.
great point. I think, the biggest thing, obviously, as you just said, is skill development. You got to have the skill. It's like another job. Like I learned to do this. I'm 15th year now doing this, right? And
Wow.
I lost money first year. My whole first year I lost money
Look at this.
because I had no idea what I was doing, right? I was just
Hmm.
reading online articles. Oh, this stock is going to do this. Or, oh, this person said on CNBC I should buy this. And you're just like listening to people. Or maybe you see a Google or email come through, join my program. I'm going to show you how to make $1 million in like 20 days, right? And then, but when you're new, you don't know any better. So you
You
do
don't
all those.
know exactly.
Yeah. You learn, you spend your money, you lose your money, and then you learn the hard way. So that's number one. If you're not going to make money on a demo account, you're not going to make money on a real account. Simple as that. So first practice on demo, get good at it first, prove yourself that you got this. And then when you got it, then put your real money. And even when you start putting your real money, put small amounts of money,
Hmm.
right? Plan your risk accordingly. So the
Hmm.
way I teach traders is that any trade they take, they already know exactly what they're going to lose if they're wrong. That has to be the first criteria, is you need to know what's your downside. When are you going to get out if you're wrong? You need to know that before you get into the trade, not after, right? And then also you need to know when you're going to get out if you're right. What's the target? Most people never get out. And so that's because of emotional, not, they don't have emotional control. Stock is going down. They should be getting out of it. They should take a small loss, move away, but they keep holding. Maybe it'll come back up. Let me buy more. Let me average my price down. Maybe it'll come back up. That's the biggest mistake in trading, right? Averaging on your losing positions. Then number two, the stock is going up. It's hit their target, but they don't get out. I think it's going to keep going higher. I'm going to hold on. Now greed kicks in. So those emotions of fear and greed cause you problems both times, because you, like me, know people. Like I can teach people how to trade in like a weekend, right? But can you do it? Are you going to do it? Are you going to follow the plan? Are you going to be emotionally disciplined? Right? You got to be a little bit unemotional when it comes to trading. I don't love a stock. I don't care about the company. None of that has to do with me. I have to just follow my system and my plan and get out when I need to get out. So the way I teach people is, if you buy, let's say, a stock at $100 per share, okay? And now you say, okay, if it goes below $99 a share, I'm going to get out and take a loss, right? So now we're risking $1 per share. So now it's very easy. If you're like, I don't want to lose more than $100 in this trade, well, you take 100 shares. Right? So if you take 100 shares, it goes down to 99, you get out, you lose exactly $100, which you planned for anyway. So there's no fear, right? So I think that's kind of the things we teach people how to do. So now if you're like, I want to risk $1,000 on this trade, I'm okay losing $1,000. Okay, then you buy 1,000 shares, right? If it goes down $1 a share, you get out, you lose your $1,000. So we plan before we get into a trade, what are we willing to lose, right? And then we try to keep all the losses the same. So if we decide, okay, $1,000 is my risk limit, then all my losers will be $1,000, $1,000, $1,000. Even if I'm losing trades in a row, I lost $5,000, right? But then if I win on just like even, 5 of them, but now I'm winning $2,000 per trade, at the end of the statistically, it's impossible not to make money. So it's all about statistics. It's not about how good of a trader you are. Nobody knows where a stock is going. Nobody has any idea. Nobody has any information. So you have to manage statistically just like a casino would. Casino's not going to mind if you put money on black and you win. They're going to say, keep playing, because the longer you play, you're going to win. And that's the same thing with trading. When I lose, I don't mind. I'm like, all right, next trade. Keep going because I know at the end of 100 trade sample size, this is going to be my number. This is going to be my edge. That's what I'm going to come out ahead. So I think those are some of the things for traders to look for. But the biggest thing, honestly, is psychology. Because anybody can come to a seminar, I can teach them all the charts and the technical strategies, all of that. And when I question them or I quiz them on it, they know all the answers. Yeah, that's the great pattern. That's the good technical setup. They know all the information. But then why is it some people make money and some don't? It comes to ability to be emotionally stable, right? Because trading releases the same hormones of dopamine and serotonin that you get when you gamble, when you have sex, when you do anything, right? It creates the same hormones. Now, as traders, we're getting that in real time every single day. So if you're letting your emotional spikes control your decision making, you're going to make the wrong decisions. You're going to be emotional, right? Stock is going down. You're going to keep holding. I think it's going to come back. Let me buy more. And then what was supposed to be $1,000 loss now turns into 10,000 because you just keep buying more and you never get out. So learning how to follow your own trading plan, the discipline is the key to success in this business or any business actually, is the consistency.
Mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely have the mindset because I think that Anmol, as we discussed before, trading is a skill. The more you practice, the better you become. And but this skill, it comes with rules. Yeah, when you're learning how to drive, you have if you see a red light, you have to stop. These are the rules of the skill. Or
Yeah.
if you see green, you go ahead. And well, if you find a sign that said don't turn left, you don't turn left, right?
Yeah.
So what happens is that as people gaining the skill, and after
Mhm.
you almost give them all the rules or the traffic rules, look, you know how to drive, and also these are the rules. These are the this skill. Do this, don't do this, don't. You're gonna. It's not gonna work. You're gonna hit another for sure. Sooner or later, you hit another car if you don't follow the rules, regardless that you know how to drive.
Mhm.
You already have the skill how to drive, but you need to follow some rules. Otherwise, you're gonna hit another car. And this is this exactly same that comes with trading. Trading has rules, and one is exactly what you just shared with us. Make sure that is a risk reward ratio, meaning you're gonna lose the whole you're gonna lose at some point. The whole point is that you gain more than you lose. And I think now that people take it personally when they start to lose. They forget all the rules, they forget everything, and now they want to win whatever it takes. And it doesn't work like that, does it? So, and it comes with the mindset, I think, that's exactly what you said. You teach somebody that knows how to do it. Yeah, even you can teach somebody how to drive, and the people you tell them the rules. Like with red you stop, with green you go. Don't do this, don't do that. These are the rules. Otherwise, you're gonna get hit. Guess what happened? They start to trade, and as soon as they lost money, they forgot all the rules.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you told them. They forgot. And after they come to you and say, Almol, I lose money. I said, can I have a look what you did? I said, look,
Yeah.
did I tell you to do this? No, right? Did I tell you to do this? No, right? There you go. That's why you lose money.
Yeah.
You didn't gaining a skill. It comes with two things. It comes what we discussed. The more you practice, the better you become. But also follow the rules. Is somebody how many years you said? Almost 15 years experience.
15 years. Yeah.
Okay, 15 years experience doing this, and it's telling you some guidelines. And listen, it's always guidelines because it's my understanding that nobody can predict it. Nobody's 100% sure. So the rules that Ammo can give you is rules that 90%, 80% will work eventually, but also the rules can have they not always work because certain condition of the market, certain news, whatever. But they work most of the time, right? So you have to be, even if you follow the rules, you have to be able to to accept losses and to have a risk reward mindset. It's the same thing that we have in marketing here in this broadcast. We already interviewed with 500 multimillionaires, and a lot of people come here and they invested in marketing, right? They put in I don't know, to give you an example, in marketing, and they selling a product for 20, for 25, for 30. If you invested $5 and you selling your product for 30, you how often can you invest this all the time, right? Because you're making money. You invest in 5 and you're getting 30. I know, guess COVID come and everybody cut the marketing budget. How you wanna how this is gonna how this is gonna work? How you gonna how you the clients are gonna find you? This is the same thing. You have to be able to understand that is you have to do a risk or reward ratio, and but if at the end of the day, most of the days, not all days, but most of the days, you're gaining against losing, I think that you are on the other side, because this is something for sure that maybe your friends and family haven't tell you. Yeah, I can tell you because I know a lot of traders. I know a lot of multimillionaires traders. And there are people that when they know what they're doing, they make a lot of money. Actually, the biggest billionaire in the planet is a trader. His name is Arnold. Become billionaire really, really young. Years old. What it proves that if you know what you're doing, I think his career was like, I don't know how many years, 10, 15 years, something like this, trading. But he managed to gain the skill, he learned, and he managed to become successful. So there are a lot of people that when you gain this skill and you learn, you can the other side. So no, not so to sum up, in order to become a good trader, you have to have a very strong mindset. So tell when you have a bad day. Tell us one day you wake up and you make all your trades, and wow, this day didn't work out, and now you lost. Let's say invested $100 and now you lose 1,000. One bad day. So how you come back from? When do you find the strength to come back? Or what type of practice do you do to make you to keep going, to don't give up, or so? What do you do in bad days?
Yeah, I think the first step is to define, what is a bad day? Because a lot of traders sometimes they say, okay, oh, I lost money today, it was a bad day. No, no, no. Maybe you did everything right. It was just part of the statistics. Because if you know that, okay, if I take 100 trades and 30 or 40 of them are going to lose and 60, 70 of them are going to win. So if you lost, it's not necessarily a bad day. Maybe, just today was a day it didn't work, right? So then that's okay. As long as,
and that's
if you
okay.
plan, then that's totally fine. Now, a bad day, what I consider a bad day is when you broke your rules, right? You should have gotten out.
I agree with you.
Yeah, you kept holding. Now, that's a bad day. Then you made a mistake, right? Because a good trader should never lose more than what they planned on losing anyway. So if I get in and I size my trade accordingly, I've already accepted the loss. So if I lost exactly what I accepted, perfect, no problem. I just move on to the next one.
And
right?
you're okay with it. You're okay.
Totally
It's
okay.
not personal. There is nothing
numbers.
wrong with you. It's not because you're not smart. There is nothing wrong with you if you lose. It just didn't work that day.
Yeah, it's part of the statistics, right? You're not going to win every single time.
As long as at the end of the month or at the end of the quarter, you do your math and it's coming out positive, well, that means that the strategy is working.
Exactly. Like, take any business, like it's Amazon. Amazon's not going to say, oh, today our product sales were so low, our business is horrible. That's why companies look at earnings quarterly, right? Bigger sample size. They don't look at it daily. Today's sales were low compared to yesterday. Same thing with businesses. You should not look at your sales like, oh, today was very bad. My business is horrible. Something's wrong with me. No. How did you do month, quarter to quarter annual returns? So I think that's kind of what matters is the bigger picture. And noticing if it's just a part of the sample size or is it some mistake that you made. Now, if it's a mistake you made, then you need to know, okay, what was the mistake you made and why did you make that? Was it emotional? What are you getting? You were getting trading. I lost money on this trade. I'm going to get it all back on the next one, right? Those kind of pitfalls you need to avoid. There's no revenge trading. You should not do that, right? A lot of people do that. I lost money on this one. Next one, I'm going to take double the risk. I'm going to try to make it all back. And then you end up losing more. So I think you have to just keep on following the system, just like a casino is the best example for that. Is a casino is not going to matter. Keep playing, keep playing, keep playing. Then at the end of the year, at the end of the day, at the end of the month, this is what they're going to make. So I think that's the mindset you need to cultivate. And you should never lose more than what you were planning on losing. Right? Now, sometimes, once in a while, news happens, something happens. Maybe you lost a little bit more than what you were planning. But that's okay. That was not in your control. But the things that are in your control, when you're in the stock and it's hitting your price, nothing's wrong with it. You need to train yourself to be able to just take the loss and walk away onto the next one. So
I
that's
think that
kind
you
of
can put in a stop loss, Amor, right? So is that correct?
100%, yeah. So
Yeah,
that's what
exactly.
I'm saying.
So
When
exactly
you
what
take
you know,
away,
if you're planning what to lose, planning is not your head. You actually put the stop loss in the thing. So it's if for any reason doesn't work, it will stop automatically. Just in
yeah,
case that in news, I think one of the huge mistakes that I see out there is that people don't put the stop loss, and this is a huge risk because anything can happen. A news can happen. Anything can happen. An earthquake in the middle of nowhere can happen, and somehow can affect the stock, the invest or something, and a huge can kill you.
yeah,
And I mean, it's set up in the platform, so make sure that when that you always in a stop loss, because this anything can happen. Anything can happen. The stock is going up all the time. It can be going up the whole year, and
yeah.
one day can have a big spike down. No one, because it depends on so many factors that some of you are in, some they're in your control, some not, and again also access to information is also I think a good part of winning trades. So power of mentorship. I think that we find in this podcast of entrepreneurs
Mhm.
that they say, well, I don't need a mentor. I don't need I don't know. I will figure it out by myself.
Mhm.
And after 2 years, they go out of business.
Yeah,
Whether other people like you with 18 years old, I had to congratulate you, by the way. You with 18 years old, you were very open to the idea that, especially when you're young, you think that you know everything, and you can conquer and you have a very open mindset that you say, okay, I'm gonna have a mentor, and I'm gonna listen what he said. I'm gonna let me see. He's making money all the time, so why not? I want to learn. So, what is your view in regarding the mindset where some people, some entrepreneurs, they find a mentor and they progress. Others, without a mentor, they lose. This is true story happening in this broadcast. I interviewed someone in this broadcast that has over 40 exits, over $1 million each. Yeah. And he was talking to me. I said, Harry, and guess what? Now I'm in the property business. I didn't have any clue about property, but now I'm in the property business. I said, business, yeah, I bought a lot of in Colorado. And I said, he told me, but I've been in this business 2 years ago, but now I own a large portfolio and property thing. And I asked the guy, look, but how you did it? I very easy. I find a mentor in Colorado. I pay him a lot of money. He showed me everything about the property business in Colorado, and that's it. After 2 years, I bought a lot of property, and this is what I'm doing. So imagine if someone that has 40 exits over $1 million in these different type of products and businesses, we can agree that someone that have a very good understanding about how to grow business and how to make money. Yet if he wanted to be in the property business and he knows that he doesn't know anything about it, and what he does, he find a mentor to teach him, and now of course now you teach that with that skills, the blueprint how to make money doing this, and probably now his portfolio will be can be even bigger than his mentor. So the point of the story, Almond, is successful people find mentors and find coaches. But the biggest problem that we have seen out there is that people go to the social media, find someone with a Ferrari, with a Lamborghini, and say, "Oh, this is gonna be my mentor." And they hire a mentor that they pay usually a lot of money, and sometimes they don't get enough value. Then they say mentorship doesn't work. So, what is
yeah.
your criteria? What do you think? What a good mentor and a good coach is? And what tips do you have for entrepreneurs out there when they're looking for a good mentor or a good coach, even if it's trading or to run your business? So what is your view on this, and you are your own example, because when you were young, you find your mentor. Probably maybe it was not the first one. Probably the few people that you saw in internet, you paid them a lot of money, you didn't get anything, but then finally you find a good mentor. So it's again a skill. Finding the is a skill as well. You need to learn how to find a good one. So what's your point of view?
Yeah, I think a lot of people try to say, okay, I'll figure it out myself, right? Trial and error. I'll figure it out. I don't want to pay all the money. I'll figure it out. That's the wrong thing to do, especially in this day and age, because all
Well,
the information available is like available online.
for you,
So
you
there,
have 15 years. So somebody will
yeah,
need to spend 15 years trying an error to know what you know, right?
exactly. So when you
I'd
do
rather
it by
say
trial and
15 years.
error,
15 years, a lot of time,
you're
right?
yeah, because time is more valuable than money. Because right, money, fine. If I lose money, if I make a bad investment, okay, I have time to make it back. But if you lose your time, then you're wasting a lot of money as well. Because time is money in the end, and you're not going to be able to get time back. You can spend all the money in the world, you're not going to get time back. So when you do a trial and error, you're probably making the same mistakes that somebody's already made before. So it doesn't make any sense to try to like waste your time trying to figure it out where somebody's out there who's already figured it out, and all you have to do is now you're basically buying time. Because let's say if it took you 4 years to figure it out yourself, but if you could have paid somebody and learned it in year one, now you just bought 3 years of your time back. I think that's really important, number one, right? Number two, again, why make the mistake yourself when somebody's already made it? Save you all the time and headache and the trouble. And now, third thing is like, Napoleon Hill talks about in his book that every successful person, Think and Grow Rich, you need to have a board of advisors. You need to have a council of men. You need to have a mastermind group. Everybody says, I've read Think and Grow Rich, very nice book. I'm like, but where's your mastermind group? Where's your board of advisors? Who are you talking to every single day? And they say, oh, I don't have that. I'm like, you didn't read the book, right? Because you read the book and you didn't do anything, so you didn't read it. So you need a mentor. Now, the criteria to finding a good mentor is number one, do they already have the results that you want? That's number one, right? Not the Ferrari, not the car, not what they're showing you, but the thing you're paying them for, do they have that result? Number one. Number two, would you trade places with them? That's a really important question, right? Because if you're not trying to be like somebody else, why would you pay them, right? So are you willing to exchange places with them? Third, how transparent and open and honest are they with you? If all they're talking about is all the good stuff, all the money you can make, that's a sales tactic, right? Like, can they talk about the struggles? What is going wrong? You know what? I lost money on that trade. I lost money on that investment. That transparency is a whole lot more important than anything else, right? And then the other thing, apart from transparency, apart from the results, is can they show you what they're doing in real time? Do they have a track record? If their only track record is making money through getting coaches or mentors or all of that, then that's not the skill, right? Can they prove that what you're paying them for, they've done and demonstrated it? Because online, especially if you find like a business coach or marketing coach, the way they've made money is through the business coaching and marketing coaching, but they haven't actually built a business. They haven't actually built a company. Same thing with trading. You go online on YouTube, there's thousands of people telling courses and discords and all this
A
trading
lot
stuff.
of people, a
A
lot.
lot of people. Yeah, since 2020 especially, it's like tripled because I started this in 2010 and we were maybe like five or six companies that were teaching trading at that time. Now there's everybody's a trader, right? They're really good at making videos. They're really good at making content, but can you see their track record, right? Like in my community, every single trade I called over the last like 6, 7 years is all tracked in a spreadsheet. You can take a look at the last 6 years of track record. So I think track record is really important. And the other thing about finding a mentor is, do you actually like them? Right? Because if you don't respect a person, if you don't like a person, even though they might be teaching the best thing in the world, if you not like or trust them, you're not going to, take anything that they say. So you have to respect a mentor enough that if they tell you to do something, you don't, you kind of feel disappointed. Oh, I let my mentor down. You need to have that feeling because with me, it was a much older guy than me who taught me how to trade. So every time he would tell me to do something, and if I made a mistake, I would feel bad. Like, oh, he's gonna feel bad about it. I didn't listen to him. So you need to have the respect for that mentor
Mhm.
too.
I
I think
agree.
that's important. You have to be a good student first before you can become a good leader. Really, really important. So I think some of the things to keep in mind when you're looking for a mentor and look past the flashiness and look at the real value that they're delivering. And then the last thing I would say is, do they have other people that they've coached that have become successful now? What are the examples, right? Like testimonials. Who other people can vouch for them? That's really important because if you look at some mentors community and all the people in the community are brand new, it makes you think, where's all the people, if you've been coaching for 5, 10 years, where are they now? Right? You got to look at that too. Like in my community, people have been with me since 2015. It's 10 years now. They signed up in 2015 and they're like, they're still there. You go back in our community, you'll find people since 2010, 2015 still hanging around. So they're there for a reason, right? But if all you see is new people coming and going, then that's a red flag to look out for.
Mm. And then, Anmol, if someone is in love with our conversation, how people can find you, how this process works?
Yeah, the best ways, I would love to give your listeners a free copy of my book. They can go to go.unmol.net, so go.myname.net, and they can get a free copy of my book. And then if they want to get in touch with me, Instagram and Twitter are kind of the places where I'm the most active. And my username on both of those channels is Delta90, DELTA-NINETY. It's all spelled out. I had the username when I was 18 years old or something. I never changed it. So now we're with that username. But yeah, my website is unmol.net, and then the trading company is livetraders.com.
So tell us, what is your favorite chapter of your book, and why do you wrote this book in the first place?
So I wrote this book originally for myself, right? As notes to myself on things that I need to do in my own life to become successful. At this point, talking about mentors, I've spent at this point probably more than $500,000 or $1 million hiring coaches and mentors, or even donating to like charities for billionaires just so I can have lunch with them or dinner with them. Like I've done a lot of work on that stuff, right? And I did that because to stretch myself. So all of the things that I learned in my journey, I wrote it down in notes to myself. And then I actually went out and applied it. And I achieved level of success that I never even thought about, right? So that's when I took it into a book format. I said, okay, wow, if I can do this with my own life, it could help a lot of people. So the book has nothing to do with trading, investing. It's all mindset, personal development, the things that I've learned by hiring all these coaches and mentors, and that could help a lot of people too. The favorite chapter is on integrity. Meaning you said you're going to do, and then do it when you said you're going to do it. Do it whether you feel like it or not, but do it because it's the right thing to do. So a lot of times, I mean, you like me know people who in 2020 said, oh, I want to start my own business. I want to start this side hustle. Maybe I want to start this podcast, but I just don't have the time. I have I have a job or whatever it is. And in 2020, they were locked down. They had all the time in the world to start their business or start their side thing, but they still never did it. So there was a disconnect between what they said they were going to do and what they actually did, right? You have to bridge the gap between your words and your actions. And that's what integrity really is. And same way with trading, people are like, yeah, if a stock goes down there, I'll get out. And then they never get out. So they said they're going to do something and then they didn't do it, right? So that gap needs to be bridged. You need to honor your word. Whatever you say, make sure you really mean it. And when you said it, make sure you really do it, right? And don't apologize for it. A lot of people say, oh, sorry, I said I'm going to do this Monday. I didn't. Oh, sorry about that. Don't say sorry because you're going to do it again. So what are you putting in place to ensure that next time this doesn't happen again, right? So from my own life, health and working out was a big challenge. I was traveling all over the world. I wasn't really working out. I wasn't really eating healthy. And I said to myself, oh, I'm going to work out tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes, but it's Friday. So you're like, well, I'll just do it from Monday, right? And then Monday comes, but Monday is the 28th of the month. Well, you're like, oh, I'll just start from the 1st. And the 1st is like November 1st. So you're like, well, I'll just start from New Year's. So we keep pushing the goal post forward on our own goals. We're negotiating with ourselves. And that's a negotiation you're never going to win. So you need to take action on the words that come out of your mouth. So now if I say I'm going to do something, the first thing I do is I go open my Google Calendar and I give it a time slot. From 1 to 2, I'm going to do this. So that way, everything I say, I'm going to do. Otherwise, I'm not going to even say it.
Thank you so much, Anmol. And for all of you following the broadcast, you know what next episode of Unstoppable, how brave entrepreneurs like Anmol break that wall and achieve the first billion. Bye for now.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.